Hello. How's it going, everyone? For every minute SFO is late, he has to give you a free taco. I guess that's the new rule. What's going on, guys? What's the scoop? What's the story? Late. Boomer. Ah. You guys like the new Santa avatar? Butters made it. Butters is a good boy. It's real sip hours. Yeah, man. We here. We sippin'. Free sips, free sips. Oh, hey, Soup Lesbian. What's up? How's everyone going today? How's everyone doing? What's the scoop? Sargon ran away. Yes, he did. He abandoned us last minute. Both days. We were supposed to be doing Vampire on Friday or Saturday, and he, as soon as it was like 5 minutes before we're supposed to start, both times, and Sargon's like, "Oh, sorry." Like, yeah, thanks, thanks, pal. Yeah, I got a Santa avatar. It's on the Twitter. It's on my Discord as well. I put it on YouTube, but it's probably going to take a long time to push out because, fuck YouTube. That was one of those that goes straight from Halloween to Christmas. No, it's actually not that. It's just that I'm really lazy. Like, I don't want to change it back to the regular avatar, then change it again. I'll just change it Christmas. Fuck it. Greetings from Spain. Slurp more. I'm hungover. Dev, save me. Well, you have two options. One, stop drinking. Or two, drink whenever you're hungover so you don't feel it anymore. Oh, that sucks, he is. Jesus. I didn't know you were a nurse, though. That's cool. So, I'll talk about a few things, if you don't mind, before we get into the main meat of today, which is usually the news. One, I had a strange day yesterday. I felt a bit off. Like everyone, I talked about this a little bit in the relaxation lounge in my Discord, but like all my friends yesterday, just there's no like conspiracy or anything. It's not like anyone's trying to avoid me. It just turns out that everyone that I consider my friends, all the people that I regularly talk to, they were all busy yesterday, everywhere. So I was just entirely alone. And it's like everyone had to go out and do something or was busy and there wasn't like a single person around. And I was like, oh, okay. It was kind of strange. And when don't you feel off? Probably never, frankly. Yeah. If we do, mind, will you stop speaking? No. But it was a bit strange. I don't know. Maybe it was just like it was a day where like things seemed to bug me. Like it was just like one of those. Okay, nothing bad actually happened today, but I'll just go to bed early just to kind of end it. Poor boomers alone. Yeah, paranoid devos. They're planning a surprise party for you. What is the state of Wigs? That's not gonna. Wigs isn't gonna happen, dude. By a robot friend. Well, another thing I can talk about is how did you guys like me posting a video every single day this week? Because I did. Let me just pull it out here. Let me just pull it out. So, for example, here's my track record so far. On the 2nd, I posted OK Boomer. On the 3rd, I posted Sorry Incels Didn't Shoot Up a Joker Screening Media. And then on the 3rd was last week's Weekly Sip. That was the 4th, rather. The 4th was the Joker one. Then on the 5th, it was Richard Spencer's A Joke. On the 6th, it was Completeness versus Wholeness. On the 7th, it was UKIP is Dead, the 55th Dumping with Scrump. On the 6th was What is a Refugee? And on the 7th, on the 6th was Completeness and Wholeness. On the 7th was UKIP. On the 8th was What is a Refugee? On the 9th, which is yesterday, was On Pride and Gratitude. Keep up the daily post. It was awesome. Too many vids apparently. Ironcaster, I edit my videos with Adobe Premiere. And honestly, they've the company themselves. Here, I'll tell you an Adobe Premiere story, okay? Adobe, they released, CS Master Systems, or is it Systems or was it Set, or I don't know. It's basically Adobe CS 5.5. Back in the day, we all started using CS5, then we upgraded to CS 5.5, now it's CS6. And here's the thing. They've now changed over to Adobe Creative Cloud, which is they're just going to stop making new versions of Adobe and just make you buy a license for it. So you have to pay monthly to use the program that you could buy before, because everyone's going that way nowadays. You don't actually own products anymore. You just rent licenses for products. It's stupid, but that's the way things are going. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll just keep Adobe CS 5.5, which I own. And then Adobe said, oh, by the way, now that we're doing Creative Cloud, all previous licenses are invalid. So if you own a disk of CS4 or CS5 or CS 5.5, you can't use it anymore. They're like, you can't do it anymore. And I was like, really? Well, fuck you. And so now I'm pirating Adobe CS6. And I'm going to keep pirating Adobe CS6. And as soon as I find a way to pirate Adobe Creative Cloud, I'll do that too. Because fuck these guys, man. If I can't use a product that I own and paid for, fuck them. Thanks very much, Ian Leslie. $5. Free YouTube Super Chat. Take the free shekels. Thank you. That'll go towards the computer fund. The computer's nearly paid off. I've got maybe 1,000-ish left to pay off on it. So thanks very much to everyone who has been helping me pay off the new computer. I really appreciate it, guys. And in fact, with that being the case, I will have to shill a little bit. So let me just put up this, which I made. How to support SFO. One-time donation. You can go to paypal.me/RedFireTaku. Monthly options, if you want to pay monthly, like a monthly recurring thing, there's 4 options. Patreon, which kind of sucks. Subscribestar, which I prefer. YouTube membership, which is that join button at the bottom of the video. It says join. You can click that and pay $5 a month through YouTube. YouTube takes a 30% cut. Subscribestar and Patreon take 5% cuts. Or Twitch sub at twitch.tv/GameBoomers, which is my gaming channel. And they take a 50% cut, which kind of sucks. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get a free sub. So it doesn't actually cost you anything, just your regular Amazon Prime, and I get $2.50 out of it. So these are the options if you want to support. What you get, $5 a month, is entry into the $5 club for 1 month. That's kind of obvious. $100, entry into the $5 club for life. And that's a great deal. $5 club is where I do community things. I chat with people in there regularly. I run community games that are there for my gaming stream. And yes, the SFO Minecraft server is still coming this month. There, I'm done my shilling. I'll take it away. There it is. And of course, I do want to point out that if you can't donate, if you have no money, or if you're running on hard times, if you can't afford to do it, if you have to stop doing it, whatever it is, it's fine. There's no obligation to do any of this. YouTube is basically a tipping economy, and I'm somebody who doesn't actually believe in tipping, oddly enough, because people get paid. But it is basically a tipping economy. So lots of great content this week. Canadian Sargon or Canadian Tim Pool? Neither. If I wanted to aim for somebody, I wouldn't mind aiming to be a Canadian Styx. And actually, that's kind of this is something I can talk about too. How do you guys like that video yesterday on Pride and Gratitude specifically? Because that was one where I went in without articles to talk about, or with, for example, what is a refugee? I had articles, and I was like, here's why I think this is the case, and here's what's going on. Pride and Gratitude was just me discussing the idea directly without an event to trigger it. And that's kind of more like what Styx does. I wanted to give it a shot. And I used Butters' new amazing artwork. So I wonder how you guys liked it. I'm kind of curious. Deck, wow, Twitch is trash. It kind of is, frankly. But it's the best option that we have, because YouTube, like streaming gaming on YouTube is garbage, especially with the whole Markiplier thing happening right now. People are getting banned for emojis. It's so fucking stupid. And DLive, frankly, I don't trust them. DLive will disappear within a year, and any kind of community you build there will be gone. So I do not trust DLive, and YouTube's not a viable option. Twitch is the best we have, unfortunately, for streaming games. Yeah, Adam Lakeman, I'm not surprised about that with the whole Richard Spencer interviews thing. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But thanks, guys. It seems like you guys like it. Thanks. Play Bussy Gang? No. But yeah, like if I was gonna stream video games somewhere, guys, it would be Twitch, because YouTube streaming is shaky because YouTube's frankly shaky. Twitch kind of sucks, but it has that that really easy way to donate through Amazon Prime with Twitch Prime free subs, because lots of people use Amazon Prime, so it's like a really convenient way to get paid, basically. DLive, I don't trust them. I just do not trust DLive. I'm sorry, guys. Like, everyone thought that DLive was going to be the new savior. I'm still not convinced. I think what's going to happen is that DLive will have some interesting back-end advances. Then they'll be sold off to a different company in a year or two, and then that'll be the end of them. They're going to go the way of Candid, frankly. Wes, thanks very much, Wes, for the 5. Are you going to change the name of your Twitch channel now that the boomer meme is dead? I don't think it is. Dude, like, when we named it Game Boomers, it was because at the time the whole 30-year-old boomer MS Paint thing was on fire, and that's still kind of going. Like, the new OK Boomer thing is it's relatively new, and it is kind of a flash in the pan, but no. Because I am kind of a 30-year-old boomer, frankly. Also, videos have been fire lately, Broham. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Oh, and regarding Mixer. Well, first of all, it is owned by Microsoft, so that's a serious problem. But at the same time, I mean, that's no better or worse than being owned by Amazon, frankly. But at the same time, Mixer has made some serious missteps. For example, they spent a bunch of money on Ninja, then a bunch of money on Shroud. If, like, Ninja and Shroud get into a freak accident and die, like today, like they get into a car crash, oh fuck, they're gone. That's like millions. That's millions of dollars they wasted on essentially nothing. And that's the problem with buying a big streamer. That's the problem with, like, DLive buying PewDiePie or Mixer buying Ninja, is that you're buying these big names, but and they bring over they bring over their huge audiences, but those audiences don't stay on the platform later. They disappear. They're gone. Like, once the stream's over, they leave. So it would have been better for Mixer to take that money and spend it on, like, 1,000 or even 5,000 or whatever, just mid-sized creators, creators who might get like 100 views for a stream or like 500 views for a stream. Just cultivate this middle class of aspiring streamer. Buy a bunch of those guys, put it on Mixer, and then you will have, or even put it on DLive, you will have a successful company then. That's how you do it. Yeah, buying talent doesn't last long the contract. Yeah, like, consider this, none other. Because you're bringing this up. Consider this. Say you have a creator who's been streaming for a few years and who only gets like 20 views or 50 views or 70 views, which basically that's me on Twitch. I only get that many on Twitch. Say you have that, right? And then they come over and offer you, like, $25,000 to stream there for a year, okay? And then you go over there with like 1,000 other people who all bring over their little communities, and then you actually build up a real community on Mixer. Once your 1 year contract is up and you have your $25,000, you're likely going to stay there because you've probably doubled in viewers. So it would be a long-term investment for Mixer. Shilling got me to try Game Boomers, but I stayed for the cozy buddies playing video at a sleepover vibes. Yeah, that is the vibe of Game Boomers. You know, there's a lot of people here who haven't tried it. And I always shill, here's my Twitch channel, here's my Twitch channel. And then those few people who do go over and check it out, they like it because it's me and my roommate on a couch playing video games. And it does feel like a Saturday morning cartoon in a sense. I need to whip your tits out. That's how you make Twitch money. I'll get my girlfriend to do it. How many of you guys want to see Naomi's boobas? Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of boobas, I have a boobas story if you want to hear it. How do I start this boobas story? Okay, so regarding the video a day thing, I tried it out, and this is by the way related to the boobas story. Shut up, Butters. I tried it out. Shill, my Twitch channel. Okay, here, I'll just type it in. Listen to my clicks. Listen to these cherry switches. There it is. Okay. So, I tried out the daily video thing. And I'm kind of figuring out what I want to do with it. Okay? And it's like, okay, every Sunday I have... Oh, hold on. DRT is king, $5. Free Hong Kong! Yes. You think another Canadian election, 2020 will go back and exit Canada? No. Honestly, I don't think Canada's going to split up anytime soon. Because, frankly, the constituent parts of Canada are kind of weak on their own. Oh, you guys stay for the abusive mods. Yeah? Yeah, Matapasta? Okay, anyway. I want to actually tell this story. But thank you very much for the monies, but I want to tell the story. All these people saying Game Boomer sucks. Okay, so Fukant, you watch it every day. And so do you, Butters, you fucking assholes. Anyway, okay. So I boob story. I gave it a go doing the videos every day, okay? With some success. But I've kind of figured out how I want to do it. So I'm going to do like the weekly sip every day. I talked about the vampire game earlier. Sargon cancel it, basically. Weekly sip every Sunday. That's the plan. I think that's a good spot for it. And I would like to, at some point in the week, I don't know when, maybe like near the end of the week, I'm going to do one big video. Like a lot of these videos have been around for like, are about 10 minutes long, right? Like 7 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. I mean, like big, like for example, the trouble with Trudeau, 2019 Canadian election. That was a 35-minute video that took a lot of work. For example, what else did I do that was really long? The collapse of Gearbox. That was a long one that took a lot of work, right? So these in-depth videos that I know a lot of people have been clamoring for me to get back to, I want to aim to do one of those once a week, maybe near the end of the week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. That's what I'm going to aim for. If possible, I'll put a Dumping with Scrump in there once a week, but that depends on other people's schedules. Like it depends on Scrump, it depends on Lilith, it depends on if we have guests and if the guests are going to show up. So sometimes we'll have Scrump on a week, and sometimes we won't have Scrump on a week. However, every other day, I want to fill that space with these 10-minute mini videos, because a lot of them are like, for example, the what is a refugee one that was 8 minutes and 48 seconds, and there was not enough there to have this giant, huge in-depth. It was one data point. It was a single data point video, but I had something to say about it. I wanted to discuss how the radical left uses the phrase or the term refugee to just basically provide sympathy for people, regardless of whether or not they're actual refugees. Tommy Robinson going to Hungary because he's being persecuted unfairly by the UK, or even like farmers from South Africa, people like that who want to flee from South Africa. They're not calling those people refugees. but they're calling the economic migrants who are coming from North Africa, where there is currently no war, coming to Europe because Europe's opened their doors, they're calling them refugees. So I wanted to just talk about this single data point of what the far left uses the term refugee for, what it actually means what it actually means to them, and what it means to us that they're changing the definition of words here. Good luck with that, says Tara. YouTube burned me out. I've been burned out by YouTube before, but I really enjoy this at this point. Like, I did it for a week, and it was hard, but I didn't get burned out. I felt, every time I did a video, I thought I'd be more burned out, but I was actually more encouraged to keep going. The only one that I didn't completely like was yesterday's on Pride and Gratitude. And I think that's less because of its content and more because it was me just discussing what I think. You know? God, you want to send me dildos? Ugh. I have put up my address if you want to send stuff. But I'm not going to point to because I don't want any dildos. You can go find it if you want it. Dev announcing a video schedule is like Peter Molyneux announcing features on Fable. Thanks. Thanks. But anyway. My point is I'm going to fill the rest of the upload schedule with these 10-minute videos. And in fact, I think I'm just going to call them 10-minute takes. You know, so I'll have like weekly sip, 10-minute takes, and then a dumping with Scrump, or some kind of long video like a dissecting the degenerate, or a collapse of video game thing, or whatever. That's the whole point, is that if I can do 10-minute takes every day, then I'm not doing a larger video. I'll do that. And I think I can actually announce to you guys a few things that I have coming up if you want to know about the secrets of what. I'm going to close my Discord just in case I accidentally show it. So for example, I have 2 10-minute take video boomer minis. I have 2 10-minute takes already set. They're fully written. I can record them today, put them out like tomorrow and Tuesday or whatever. All right. And I've called them, one of them is just called The Titty. It's The Titty. I don't think YouTube will censor that because they don't know about titties. They know about titties, but not titties. So just The Titty. And the other one I'm calling A Lack of Nuts. And A Lack of Nuts is going to be it's going to be on the extreme backlash against No Nut November. Because there seems to be a huge backlash against No Nut November, isn't there? I'm actually feeling pretty good, but Butters, I'm actually in pretty decent health again. Like, I worked out this morning, man. Ooh, I'm just going to flex into the microphone. Yeah, man. And as for larger videos, I might do my collapse of Blizzard video this week, you know? Either that, or I have a video called The Collapse of Blizzard that I've written. I have a video called The Collapse of the Democratic Party that I've also written fully. And these are like both going to be at least half-hour videos. And I have a third video called YouTube is Out of Touch. And I'm going to do one of those 3 as my big, long video this week. Yeah, dude, I'm a fat fuck, but I am going to try to get more exercise, you know. Today was the first time I did a full exercise. Today was the first time I did a full exercise in about a month, like my full workout. I did that shit today, and I feel like sore already, but great. Well, there's apparently like a belief that not masturbating for a while builds up more testosterone. You go to like NoFap on Reddit or something, and they keep saying like, if you don't fap, you're gonna get stronger, and you know all these women are sucking out your testosterone out your dick hole, and it's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. No, an actual full exercise routine. Yeah, like I have on my phone, I have like a now abused and unused app that I used to use religiously during the summer, and it like outlined what exercises I had planned for each day, right? And I've been ignoring it since August or something. So I actually did a full workout for today from that app for the first time in months. It feels good. And yeah, diet is also the key, my dude. Exercises are finishing touch. Yes, I completely agree with that because, man, my diet is definitely the big problem. It's okay. You know what? I'm not going to be eating any more donuts. Donuts are gone. Buy a dog. My house isn't big enough for a dog, unfortunately. I do want one, but... Also, the honest truth is, the largest and most central room in our house is the Game Boomers set. We have like a small living room. We have like a small kitchen. You know, there's a washroom, a powder room, a few bedrooms, and then there's like a giant, like a gargantuan room that we adopted to be the Game Boomer set. But like it's like right in the middle of the thoroughfare of the house. You have to walk through it to get from one end of the house to the other. And frankly, if we had a dog running around, it would destroy the set. I like how Dragonfat like did at Game Boomers because she's used to moderating my Twitch chat. Oh, Sean, yeah, the feeding window. Back when I got thin, like here, I'm gonna Photoshop you a little something if you don't mind, because there was actually a period in my life when I was thin. All right, let me show you. Okay, where is? What was the most recent thing I'd done on Game Boomers? Because that's where you can usually see me, like as my like an actual picture of myself, right? Because I you know there's a cam. So what did I recently play on Game Boomers? I can't even remember. Oh, Medieval. Okay, here. Let me just open up the most recent part of Medieval. There, I look pretty fat in this. Yeah, I'm doing Photoshop art here. Give me a second. Okay. So here's me on the couch during the Medieval stream on Game Boomers. All right. This is the fattest I've looked in a long time. I'll just slap this into the old... Hey, come on. Don't be that way. There. Look at me. This is from like Friday. Jesus. Yeah, I need to just basically stop eating. Thank you very much, Icy Ironcaster. I appreciate it. So that's me. Maybe on Friday or on Thursday or something. Now, if we go back into the history of Game Boomers and we go to our Pokemon Fire Red playthrough, which was like, 7 years ago or something. Yeah, man. Now, give me a second here. Now, so here I've got it now. So this was 7 years ago, and you age over the course of 7 years. That is how it is. But at the same time, it's not just aging, because I used to be super fat. Like I used to be much fatter than the picture that you're currently seeing, guys. I used to be much fatter than that. I used to be over 300 pounds of pure tub of lard, all right? And I lost a whole bunch of weight. And shit, god damn it, MS Paint. Okay. I lost a whole bunch of weight. I ended up looking kind of like this at one point here, so I'll just get rid of that. And this is me from that Pokemon Fire Red playthrough 7 years ago. So I went from fat to, looking like an average person who's not a big, fat fucking tub. And now I'm on my way to being fat again. But yeah, I used to what happened was in high school I was a track runner. And then in high school I was a track runner. Shut up, Matapasta. In high school I ran track and I was very thin. And then I gained, I ballooned to about 325 pounds at my absolute maximum of fatness. And then at 25, I actually had a minor heart attack because I was just too fucking fat. All right. Then so I decided to get thin. And so this picture that you're currently seeing, this is from the Pokemon Fire Red playthrough on Game Boomers, which is 7 years old. I had made it down to about 180. 180 pounds. And I did that through intermittent fasting and through a whole lot of running and through a whole lot of lifting weights. Archean, when can you get back my podcast, SFO? I guess whenever, man. To be honest, getting a hold of me is kind of hard nowadays because my DMs are so flooded, but we can work it out eventually. So I got to the point where I was about 180 in this picture. That was 7 years ago. I'll just take that away now. And then back to Medieval. This is me last week. And yeah, there's 7 years of aging there, but there's also about 50 pounds of weight. You know what I mean? So basically, I was once thin, but not anymore. Unfortunately. Thin Dev looks like a weenie. Falco, that's definitely not thin. What do you mean? Like me at 180, I was not bad, man. Like I wasn't like ripped or anything, and I wasn't like shredded, but I was an average sized guy. And frankly, I wouldn't mind being an average sized guy again. It's just that I'm fat. I'm a chubby face boy. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm just doomed. Maybe I'm going to end up like Professor Egad, where like no matter how much weight I lose, I still have a giant fat head. I actually do have decent muscles, believe it or not. Like I'm one of those like tree trunk guys where I have like I have a thick layer of fat but also a lot of muscle. Anyway, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best to lose more weight. I set three New Year's resolutions for myself. One was to get the channel to 100,000 subs by the end of the year. That's not gonna happen, I don't think. But you know what? I got 2/3 of the way there. I started the year at what? 25,000? 30,000? And now I'm at 70? I still made some gains, so good enough. My second was to not play any video games unless I was streaming them. I've only played video games 3 times off stream since the start of the year. They've all been on stream. And so, that's pretty good. And then the third one, I suppose, the Happy Merchant. Thanks, DRTS King. I appreciate it. And then the third one was to lose weight. And I have not lost weight this year. So 1.5 of my 3 New Year's resolutions has been fulfilled. I don't feel great about it, but here we are. Anyway, I've now been rambling on and chatting about everything under the sun. I've now told you how to support the channel. I've now told you how I feel about what work I've done this week. I've now told you what work's coming up and that you guys are going to be able to see. I told you some personal stuff. Do you guys feel like actually talking about the news at some point today? The nuked channel covered from Marvel. Thanks, Disney. Fuck, that's terrible, dude. Despair Gumshoe. Man, dude, Gumshoe. I love Phoenix Wright. As soon as I'm actually thin again, I'm going to dress up as Phoenix and we're going to do Phoenix Wright on Game Boomers. It's going to be fucking awesome. Oh, Apple's Ghost. You're right. Okay, you know what? You're right. I have to go back on that. Aside from World of Warcraft, I only played 3 games off stream. I played FTL twice and Darkwood once, and that was it. Then I got into World of Warcraft, and that fucking ruined everything. But I'm out of it now because, you know, fuck Blizzard. Okay. $5 from Kazia Thornhill. I lost 43 pounds so far this year doing low carbon, no sugar, going for walks. You know what? I'm gonna have to do that. Frankly, when I lost all that weight before, it was because I only put sugar in my coffee. That was the only sugar I had was in coffee. Everything else, no sugar. Matapasta, $15. Thank you very much, dude. Last super chat from me. You should be Dr. Robotnik for Halloween. That's not muscle. And I hope the article I suggested was good. And then a bunch of cat faces. I'm using that article, the one that you suggested, as part of the lack of nuts video. But thank you very much. Also, don't feel obligated to donate, Matapast or anybody else. Minecraft server is coming out this month. I haven't got it set up yet. What Jeff Kaplan said. Good on him. For those of you who don't know, Jeff Kaplan actually came out against Blitzchung's banning. And he's like a VP. So. Yeah, like I used to put sugar in everything. Now my goal is only sugar in coffee because I like sugar in my coffee. Yeah, I honestly can't. Thanks for the 50 SEKs. The Kroner, I think. Shows the link, the great moist. Thanks, dude. Anyway, yeah. Let's move on with it. Like I don't know like if I could actually do black coffee. I hate black coffee, guys. I probably couldn't do that. But I love coffee. I just hate black coffee. Here, let us actually do something fucking relevant here, though, instead of me just jibber-jabbing about nonsense. Where is the thingy? There it is. Let's start from the start. Here we go. How the Sinaloa cartel bested the Mexican army. I was talking about this with Sargon on one of his streams earlier in the week. Basically, the cartels have become so powerful, they're engaging the Mexican army on the battlefields and winning. It's wild, dude. Mooch Talks, do I like being sent articles? Yes. Send me all the things you can. Lost Ark. I don't know what that is, Tara. Maybe PM it to me on Discord, though. In Mexico's big cities, drug cartel gunmen normally act like phantoms. They hide in safe houses or amid communities, suddenly striking with an assassination or a gunfight, and then disappearing again. Residents know they're there and they're scared. Most of the time they can't see them. But on Thursday in the Sinaloan city of Culiacan? The cartel gunmen were everywhere. They openly drove in trucks with mounted machine guns, blockaded streets, and burned trucks, unleashing plumes of smoke like it was a scene in Syria. They took control of strategic points in the metro area, shut down the airport, roads, and government buildings, and exchanged fire with security forces for hours, leaving at least 8 people dead. In contrast, everyone else had to act like ghosts, hiding behind locked doors, not daring to step outside. If this is the state of your drug cartels, you're like a failed country. This is no longer gangsters. This is an actual insurrection against the authority of the state. All right? And if Mexico can't beat them in a fight with their army, like I don't know, do they just give up? And do they just give control of the government to the cartels? Do they ask for foreign help? Like maybe Trump can send in, 10,000 troops from the States and put them all down. That would be nice. $2 from Freddy the Yeti. Why did YouTube give me this free super chat? Probably just to incentivize you to get into super chatting, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. In this battle, the cartel won. Yep, their uprising was in response to soldiers storming a house on Thursday and arresting Ovidio Guzman, the 28-year-old of convicted kingpin El Chapo. Yeah. So, the army kidnapped El Chapo's son, and the cartel went in and took him back and made the Mexican military out to be a bunch of fucking punks. It's wild. Dude, look at this shit. Mexico is straight up a third world country now. This is the result of a bloody trend of cartels developing insurgent tactics over many years. The use of burning vehicles to block roads was taken from militant protesters. Cartels use it to stop the movement of troops and put pressure on the government. Everyone who, like, wants to be a MS-13 apologist can fuck right off. You don't get to claim that these people are somehow morally superior. Like they're in open rebellion because they want to sell drugs and like rape and murder and butcher people. This is not a situation where it's like, oh, their brown skin means they're innocent. Spaceboy, $5. Mexico is literally a perfect example of why you need an armed populace. The government will fail you one day, and you best have a way to defend yourself. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, chums. The super rich prepare to leave the UK within minutes if Labour wins the election. This actually reminds me. But you know what I mean, Dragonfat. You know what I mean. They operate in Mexico as well. But let's continue. If any of you had watched my Twitter yesterday, while I was, isolated. Oh, $2. Game over. Thanks, Hills. While I was isolated yesterday and not really having anything to do, I got into a Twitter argument with somebody you might know as that dude in the suede. Anyone remember him? Remember his name? He was a year one, that guy with the glasses contributor, who later fucked off. Yeah, he later fucked off. He went on like a missionary thing, and then he couldn't continue doing that guy with the glasses. He came back like in year 2 or year 3, and he showed back up. But his whole I was getting in an argument with him because he outright believes that people can't have $1 billion. They should not be allowed to have $1 billion. Okay? And I was like, hold on a minute, this is stupid. Why not? And this article is basically exactly what I was talking about. Because if you tax people too high, they leave. There's like if you were to map out the amount that you want to tax versus the amount you actually get, it kind of goes in a parabolic arc where, if your taxes are low, you're not going to get much in the way of taxes. If your taxes are in the middle, you get a whole bunch of taxes. If your taxes are too high, you get no taxes again because everyone who's rich will be like, I'm not paying this much, and they fuck off. Like, didn't Bernie Sanders say he wanted to tax like 97%? Like 97% of like a billionaire's income? Why? Like, who the fuck will ever work that hard then? Because if you've legitimately earned $1 billion, that means that you've provided $1 billion worth of value to other people. And if you can't keep that reward, why would you do it? And if you don't do it, society suffers. That's why factories close down under communist states. That's why Venezuela's a shithole. People just leave. So that's what this article is all about. The super rich prepare to leave the UK within minutes if Labour wins the election, because Labour has basically become the Communist Party in the UK. The wealthy see potential taxes imposed by Jeremy Corbyn as bigger threat than Brexit. Yeah, kinda. The super rich are preparing to immediately leave the UK if Jeremy Corbyn becomes Prime Minister, fearing they will lose billions of pounds if the Labour leader does go after the wealthy elite with new taxes, possible capital controls, and a clampdown on private schools. Why would you clamp down on private schools? They're better than public schools. Wouldn't you want like that quality of education to be available to as many people as possible, not just destroying it in a race to the bottom. It's wild, dude. It's crazy. I don't get it. Lots of high net worth individuals are worried about having to pay much higher taxes on their wealth, and have already prepared for the possibility of a Corbyn government. Transfers of wealth are already arranged. In many cases, all that is missing is a signature on the contract. People are ready to jump ship from the UK, and when they do, it will destroy the UK. From the ultra-high rich net worth perspective, a Labour government under Corbyn is a much greater threat to them than their businesses and their wealth than Brexit. That's because Brexit is uncertainty, you know? Who knows how things are going to shake out once the UK leaves the EU? You're going to have to renegotiate trade deals with the rest of the world. You know, you might not get a good deal with them. I don't know. It might not be all that good economically, at least in the short term. And that, you know, there are reasonable reasons to be a Remainer. The economic reason's a powerful one. You can't just ignore it. But like the principled argument of we need to be free and we'd rather be poor and free than rich and enslaved to the EU is also an equally important argument. So it makes complete sense that like the certainty of a socialist government is a much greater threat than the uncertainty of Brexit. Who knows? And actually, Mike Hillier, 699, thank you. My dad worked for Conrad Black when the NDP won in the 90s. Black left the country the next day and didn't come back for 8 months. Yeah, of course, man. You just take your money with you, because fuck it. Here, let me see if I can show you what I was talking about with Suede. Okay? Okay. Here. I have the Twitter thread open, so let's check it out here. I want to show you what I was talking about. So here's that dude in the Suede. And even though he went on like a missionary group for his church, and that's why he left that guy with the glasses for a year, apparently he's an LGBTQA+ ally, an enemy of white supremacy. He's a Christchurch native. And if you defend any of that or abuse communication, I'll block you. Also, he's a he and a him. I didn't know that basically churchgoers have become so cucked. But anyway, he had a poll. If there was a hard limit on how much money a person is legally allowed to own, what do you think would be a fair amount? 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, or I am a billionaire. Now, I'm not a billionaire, but I believe that there should not be a hard limit. Yeah, I'll show the argument. I don't mind. He says, no one needs $1 billion. If you were born with $1 billion and wanted to spend it all by the time you turned 100 years old, you have to spend $190,000 a week. To be fair. I don't mind spending $190,000 a week. I'll do that shit. That could be fun. But anyway, this person here says, you could if you gave that much to charities a week, but again, that is giving it away because you don't need it. Exactly. I think you can earn $1 billion, you just shouldn't be able to keep it, which is kind of a wild opinion, isn't it? So here's my reply. What would be the point of doing all the work required to earn $1 billion if you can't keep it? Would it really be better if the people capable of earning $1 billion and providing the rest of their labor to the rest of society in exchange were incentivized not to do so? And then he says, you don't need $1 billion. There is no effort in the world that is worth $1 billion. I said effort is worth what you can pay for it. People who earn $1 billion from their work are often people who have brought a product to market that has helped millions of people. It's the sheer quantity of people that have been serviced that bring in the money. And so he says, back to my original point, they don't need the billion. No one needs $1 billion to reward themselves. It's too much. Then I say, I wouldn't want to give any authority the power to determine what you need or don't. That leads to Soviet-style rationing. It's not about what you need. That's not the issue. It's about what you're capable of doing. If you can earn it, you should have it. Then he goes on to talk about inherited wealth, and the argument goes on. And it kind of snowballs. I am not worth $1 billion. No. But this is actually one of those arguments where even though I think he's obviously wrong, like catastrophically wrong, he didn't just go, I'll just block you because I'm offended by the fact that you're not a socialist. And it's like, no. He actually had the discussion. And it's like, okay, cool. Anyway, as you keep scrolling, eventually he says, "I'm out. I would like to argue more, but I don't have the time today. You've made some valid points, but I still think there's something fundamentally flawed with an assertion that people who should be able to keep $1 billion or other hardworking people starve." And it's like, okay, you have made some valid points. I've never heard an SJW say that in my life. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I offered him to do a stream on it. I don't think he'll take me up on it, but it would be fun. I would not like if he's a commie that's actually willing to engage. Maybe I could get him on a stream, and then I'd be like, "Here's how you're wrong." You know, it might end with him just being really angry at me, or maybe I'll actually end up changing his mind. Who knows? But yeah. All right. Playing chess with a pigeon. Well, it's not just that. It's also the fact that this guy was a guy who I kind of looked up to back in the day because of that guy with the glasses. I looked up to everyone. There was one point in my life where I looked up to everyone and that guy with the glasses. These are people who had, 100,000 subs back when 100,000 subs was a big fucking deal. It's not so much anymore. It's a landmark, but it's not huge, But back in the day when no one had 1 million subs. No one had 1 million subs yet on YouTube. If you had 100,000 subs, that was huge. And basically a lot of people on that guy with the glasses had that reach. So that's what this guy is. He's part of that group. So, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I was like, oh, it's this dude. Now it's like, whatever, because I'm actually outgrowing them. I will, at some point next year, I will have more subs than Spoonie. Which is wild, dude. Crazy. Even Linkara, I even looked up to him a little bit. Not much. And I kind of figured out why later. Because he's kind of a nutsode. But anyway. Merc, $5. I'd rather give my money to weirdos with funny accents than have it taken from me automatically by force of government. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's me. Thank you very much, Merc. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Nostalgia Chick turned into Crazy Cat Lady in 10 years. Yeah. See, I never actually watched Armored Skeptic. He seems like a nice guy. And frankly, I haven't watched him because I haven't given him a chance. Maybe I would like his videos, I know I like Shoe on Heads. Shoe on Head's really cool. I know she watches my videos. I know I watch hers. But she's a very busy person. Talking to Shoe on Head in private is kind of like talking to Sargon. I haven't talked to her in private in years, but I've messaged her on Twitter and stuff. Right? And PM'd, DM'd, whatever. And there are moments where she's talking and she's really interested in what's going on. And so we talk back and forth. But then she kind of cuts off the conversation and vanishes for 2 days. And it's like, oh, okay. And I don't take it personally because that is exactly how Sargon operates in private as well. And I once asked Sargon, I was like, Sargon, why do you do this? How come, we'll be chatting about something and then you'll disappear? And it's like, what happened? And he says, well, I'm just so fucking busy running a channel that has 1 million subs that sometimes I can't just sit around and chat. And I'm like, that's actually fair. He outright said, it's nothing personal. It's just the nature of having a job like this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And the honest truth is, I'm going to assume that is what Shoe on Head is like as well. Because she has a similarly sized channel and she has a lot going on as well. It's probably the case that, she doesn't have that much time to socialize. So I don't take it personally. And frankly, I should be doing that more too. No offense to anyone, but I should be working harder too. So I should also have less time to hang out and chill. Yeah, sure, Matapasta. Is this going to be is this going to be the whole your extension of my whole none of my friends were around yesterday and I felt kind of strange about it. And it's like, you just aren't worth my time. Talking to Sargon is like trying to distract a small child with keys. Yeah, well, you know what? I think a lot of big YouTubers are like that because they just have so much going on, so much on their plate. Butters, that is a serious problem. I think you're talking about Armored Skeptic there. I like a lot of his older videos. His videos are much more about comedy than facts. He's made a lot of mistakes, unfortunately. That's the problem with comedy. And like, comedy is obviously a great thing. I've done videos in defense of comedy now that the SJWs are coming for comedy. But I've said this a few times. Comedy is not necessarily an excuse to be factually inaccurate. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. You know, what's a good example of what I'm talking about here? Let me just take this away for a minute. Let's see if I can find what I was talking about here. Come on. Oh, that's some nudes that I probably shouldn't be showing. But at least I didn't put it on the screen, so it's okay. Here, I'll put this on the screen instead. So, for example, you see this, right? It's a Hillary advertisement. It says hentai, and it's Hillary taking money. That's comedy. No one's going to deny that that's comedy, right? At least I assume. Like, please don't. Please don't believe that that's not comedy. It's very clearly, obviously comedy. And like, if you're a human being, you don't need that joke explained. I'm going to assume, right? However, let me find this other image that I'm trying to talk about here, because there's a companion image that was posted like hold on. If I can't find it, I'm gonna shit myself. Jesus, I really can't find it. Fuck me, dude. So this is how you can tell that I don't ever come into anything prepared. Whelp time to fap. Is this okay? Here's the other image. Okay, I'll take this away. Someone got really mad at that image. Okay, and so Lo Ping replied to that image with this image. I'm going to need some academic sources behind that joke you just casually made. And that's actually a legitimate argument. If you're making a joke, it doesn't need to be fine art. You don't need to, I finished my coffee, no more sipping. You don't need to have everything down pat, you know? It doesn't need to be like, oh, you have the stats, you can back it up. No, not necessarily. Sometimes a joke is just a joke. But that's also a defense for people who consistently make factual errors to like beyond what is reasonable for comedy, right? So Armored Skeptic is kind of like that when he makes a mistake, as far as I know. He's somebody who like, oh, I've made a mistake about the situation. Well, it's just a joke. And it's like, okay. But then you hear that 10 times. And you hear it 20 times. And you hear it multiple times in the same video. And then you realize that the entire video's premise is faulty, but it's still just a joke. And you start to wonder, that maybe even in comedy, there's still an argument to be a bit more careful with what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's not like, okay, and here's the thing. That's not like me railing against Armored Skeptic. I have respect for him. But because I do this too. I have this problem too. Lots of people have this problem, you know. You can't simply hide behind jokes or comedy as an excuse for why you're factually inaccurate. At least not so much that it destroys the entire point of what you're trying to do. That there's my rant. Okay? Anyway, let's continue on if you don't mind. What do you mean, Von Sanek? What are you talking about? Anyway, let's continue. This is a Canadian story, but it's fun. From Bengal to Boogie. Rupa Biswas, India's rediscovered disco diva. She was a young woman who made a disco record on a whim during a holiday in Canada and became a cult hero without her knowing. I remember this, actually. This woman made an album in Canada and then forgot about it and went back to India. And that album blew up here in Canada. But she had no idea. She had no idea. And she finally discovered that she's like this lost Canadian artist living in India. Hold on. No, the coffee's done. I have like one final sip, it seems. There it is. Final sip. I'll probably make like a second one later. So apparently she tried to fail, making it professionally before her friends could use the name Rupa, her nickname. Her Disco Jazz came about, which is her album, after her father took the family to holiday to Canada. I performed at my brother's house the first night. Two of my family were so impressed they arranged for their performance. And it became this well-known Canadian album, and no one knew who she was until recently. It's kind of funny. This is a feel-good story. You're playing Hollow Knight. It's a great game, dude. Yeah. Disco Jazz was like a big thing in India in the 80s. Should we listen to it? Or do you think we're going to we'll probably get copyright strike, won't we? Anyway, let's keep going. And aggressive animal rights activists target a blind man, 30, for keeping a guide dog they claim should be running free in the fields. He relies on his highly trained Labrador Sam because he's fucking blind, and apparently dogs should be running free in fields, not sitting in cafes. I like this good. He actually kind of looks like Samuel Tarley, in fact. Maybe that's why his dog's named Sam. A blind man was left shocked after being targeted by angry animal rights activists because he has a guide dog. The 30-year-old said the guide dog had enabled him to lead a more fulfilling life since he was paired with it in April last year. However, 2 verbal attacks from people claiming to be campaigners against animal cruelty, he's begun to worry about further abuse. So, let's see the actual situation. Let's see what happened here. The first time it happened was in April of this year. I was in a cafe in Edinburgh with Sam, and a man approached me and told me I shouldn't have a guide dog. He said dogs should be running free in fields, not sitting in cafes. I thought he was joking. He wasn't hostile, just looking to have a conversation. And after I explained what kind of life Sam has, he was 100% convinced, but he didn't seem much more open to the idea. The second incident was more aggressive. He and another guide dog owner were approached by a so-called animal rights activist in a Portsmouth bar who called them cruel. She was very in our faces and made us feel very uncomfortable. Well, first of all, how do you know if she was in your face if you couldn't see her? I mean, Wait. This stream has broken community guidelines. Since when? Who knows? Well, anyway, I was so taken aback. I tried to have a conversation with her, but she didn't listen. She just seemed to be in a rage. It got to the point where her husband came over to lead her away. Wild, dude. You know, if this is where we're going, it really is going to end up being like intersectionality war. Because this guy has he's a member of an oppressed class. He's blind. He's disabled. He's differently abled. And yet, you have the environmentalists and the animal rights activists, going after him. And those two ideas come from the same philosophy, and yet they're constantly fighting. Handicapped dogs. They took our gerbs. They took my dog away. I couldn't watch. Oh. I've been approached and asked why I think it's moral for me to have a guide dog. To be honest, I think it's completely inappropriate for anyone to feel it's approach people who are maybe disabled and own a guide dog or any service animal. Yeah, like, how about this? Fuck you? I'll own a dog if I like? Jesus. Anyway, let's keep going. Swedish state agency uses money of dead citizens to fund drag shows. That's how. Make sure you give your money away to your kids before you die. Otherwise, your kids aren't getting it. The drag queens are getting it. The Swedish Inheritance Fund, which manages the wealth of deceased Swedes with no heirs, will be using the money of dead Swedes to fund drag queen shows. The state agency announced it would be giving 1,710,500 Swedish krona, which is about $177,000, to the Mums Cultural Association in Stockholm to develop available normative creative fairy tales in the form of feature shows. The shows in question will involve the group Among Dragons and Drag Queens, which will create new fairy tales to whichever group is being targeted at the time. The project will also involve drag show workshops in which participants will be able to perform their own drag shows, with the project to be presented at local libraries. On its website, the Mums Cultural Association describes itself as a politically independent association that wants to broaden the cultural offerings in Sweden with a special aim to work for LGBT issues, diversity, and equality. Well, that's not politically independent, is it? What the hell? Okay, so if Sweden wants to go down this route, fine. But as soon as we get the Islamic Caliphate of Swedistan, this isn't going to last. The Islamists will put a stop to this shit because they'll consider it to be degenerate. At the end of October, Among Dragons and Drag Queens even did a library drag storytime event for the newly arrived migrant children. I guess this is their answer to Islamism. They're just going to take the Muslim kids and indoctrinate them. This is actually going to be like a battle of indoctrination, guys. You have like Muslim indoctrination and you have LGBT indoctrination, and they're just going to fight to the death over who gets to brainwash who. Jesus, this is we are living in clown universe, all right? Fine. You could at least get like half decent looking drag queens. Ones who don't eat nothing but Twinkies. Let's keep going. Yes. I found this kind of funny. This person is blocking over 1 million fucking people on Twitter.com. Imagine needing a safe space this badly. So, this person here, HasRock36. User HasRock36 is blocking 1,016,409 users on Twitter. Wow. That's a lot. That. Ooh. Huh? That's a lot of fucking. That's crazy. I wonder how many people I have blocked. Like 3. Yeah, you know what? I think I have about 3 people blocked, and it's because I keep telling Twitter I don't want to see their advertisements, and I keep like reporting the ad, and I keep saying like clicking on it like don't show me this ad, trying to help their algorithm, and they keep showing me the fucking ad, so I just block the accounts now, and I've blocked like 3 accounts of ads that just won't go the fuck away. I want to see if this person actually blocks me. Hold on. Let's see. HasRock36. Have you blocked me? Yes. I've never even heard of them. And I'm blocked. Okay. Oh, dude, Butters isn't blocked. Crazy. Yeah, that's 1/3 of active Twitter. What the fuck, dude? Let's keep going. Why the Popeyes chicken sandwich craze quickly morphed into black shaming. The most surprising thing about this article to me is the realization that Yahoo Lifestyle still exists as a website. Okay. At some basic level, there is nothing about wanting to eat Popeye's new chicken sandwich that is different from wanting to sip a Starbucks pumpkin spice latte or dig into a sweet green winter squash salad. The sandwich is the flavor of the month. It's a crunchy, fried, juicy, savory food trend that smells like a family reunion and tastes like homecoming. But while the sandwich's hype has mouths watering from Orange County to downtown Brooklyn, there's something unique about its popularity in black communities. For many customers who live in predominantly white areas, the trip to Popeyes is a voyeuristic detour from Whole Foods and Albonpain. The fuck it? Whatever. It's a different situation entirely for far too many black folks who live in neighborhoods where Popeye's deep-fried, heavily salted meat is one of the few options around. Studies have found that black communities are disproportionately food swamps, areas where healthy options, like grocery stores, are few and far between, and fast food restaurants like Wendy's, McDonald's, and Burger King dot every corner. This constricted, unhealthy food market is a direct result of racial segregation. Actually, it's probably a direct result of class segregation, because any poor area of town will have a whole bunch of fast food. It's not just a black thing, but fine, whatever. So apparently, like so many internet phenomenons, hype for Popeye's chicken sandwich first sparked on Black Twitter. Capital Black Twitter. I do like how Twitter is basically being balkanized into these weird subgroups like Black Twitter, Political Twitter, Gaming Twitter, retard Twitter, whatever. There's people saying it's a chicken sandwich fit for a god. It's a damn revelation. And they're playing the Popeyes or Chick-fil-A music, in which rapper saying, I ain't knocking Chick-fil-A good, but it ain't Chick-fil-A in the hood. I ain't driving 30 minutes, just get some chicken. Even in Joy and Fest, the tweets captured the contradictions of living in a redline retail economy. Many healthier, higher prestige chains typically eschew black neighborhoods. Meanwhile, Popeyes charges into them. So apparently, I guess liking a fucking chicken sandwich is racist. I don't know. Is that where we're going with this, Yahoo? The bond between black people and the restaurant is complicated. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Maybe it's that they're just eating unhealthy shit. I'm kind of picturing, like, you guys remember that animated GIF of like that black dude who has like the two drumsticks and he's like dancing around with him. He's like, Yeah, man. Shut up. I'm just going to read the end of this before we get the fuck out of here. Since it has debuted, the Popeyes chicken sandwich serves as an avatar and a lightning rod for stereotypes about black communities. That's what it is, dude. That's what it is. You take the chicken sandwich, you hold it up into the sky, and then the lightning strike of white supremacy crackles down and destroys the black community. That's how it is, guys. Whatever. Oh yeah, here's some big-brained thinking, okay? A prisoner who briefly died argues that he served his life sentence. Well, this guy must have seen Game of Thrones. Because this is some Jon Snow shit right here. What does it mean to complete a sentence of life in prison? One prisoner claims he's done it by serving time until the moment of his death, plus another 4 years since, and said it was well past time to set him free. The prisoner made that argument to an appeals court in Iowa, saying that when he briefly died in 2015 before being revived at a hospital, he completed his obligation to the state. Yeah, dude. This is so stupid. $5 from DRT is king. It's also because the community leaders don't want these stories in their neighborhood. I've seen it in Mount Florida. Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. So, this guy tried to pull a Jon Snow. Didn't work out. He's either still alive, in which case he must remain in prison, or he's actually dead, in which case this appeal is moot. I think the whole point is not that you die, it's that you stay dead. Like, that's a life sentence. We do not find his argument persuasive. Yeah, neither do I, frankly. Yeah. The judges found it unlikely that the legislator would have wanted to set criminals free by whatever medical procedures during their incarceration led to their resuscitation by medical professionals. Yeah, actually allowing this, even though it's technically correct, I guess, would basically incentivize suicides, because either you die and therefore get out of your jail sentence, or you die and then get resurrected. You get brought back to life by doctors, and then you're free. So it's like, I don't know, dude. Artemis, how do these companies still have funding? They're running out of it, man. It's slowly disappearing, dude. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Have you played Pac-Man yet? Gotta catch and deport them all. I saw this floating around Twitter, and I thought it was fucking hilarious, dude. This is a terrible website, by the way. It's just shit. So here's a Pokemon name called Baby Boomer. While other children play with toys, Baby Boomer is trained to kill you and your children. Unlike other Pac-Man, this one can be saved from the cancer that is Islam if the poisonous indoctrination ends. So basically, it's like joke Pokemon cards with like Islamic stereotypes on them. Beheaditron. The dumbest of all Pokemon. Beheaditron believes cutting off non-Muslims' heads will be somewhat pleases God. He's dumber than a mushroom. This is Gingermo. Gingermo is not a true Pac-Man, having converted to Islam, believing he might make some friends who are angry and weak-minded as himself. He's apparently allergic to sunlight. This is stupidity. It's funny, but it's like really dumb funny. I don't think it's worth really reading them all, but it's dumb, but it's funny. Let's keep going, though. Oh, yeah, this bullshit. Need for Speed Heat has no microtransactions, and that might be a bad thing. Yeah, this is where Polygon is, guys. This is where Polygon is. They cuck out so much to the corporate left, and that is what a lot of that's what like a lot of corporations are now. They are in fact the corporate left. That I guess they're going to write articles about how bad it is that a game has no microtransactions. Like, fuck me, dude. I mean, were they pro Battlefront 2 back in the day as well? We are definitely in peak. Don't ask questions. Just consume product and get excited for next product. And if the game doesn't let you consume the product enough, if you can't give even more money to the multinational corporation, I guess that's bad. I guess it's bad, guys. Okay, let's fucking see this nonsense. The elephant not in the room is microtransactions. Yeah. The fact that EA launched this without any microtransaction marketplace is the strongest sign the publisher has little to no expectations for it. This may go the way of Medal of Honor. Well, to be fair, EA sucks, and they in fact are going the way of the Medal of Honor series. But, like, fuck you. Let's take our wins where we can get them, not just reduce everything to an us versus them argument. You fucking cucks. Polygon is going broke, and that's a good thing. Yes. Yeah, Need for Speed Payback launched in 2017 alongside Star Wars Battlefront 2 with a similar loot box model. Random draws available for real money that upgrade your experience driver career progression. Maybe they learned their fucking lesson then, Polygon. Maybe we should take this as a positive sign. Like, oh, EA launched a game that everyone hated and had this failed microtransaction bullshit. And now the sequel to that game doesn't have those bad qualities. This is bad somehow. Fuck off, Polygon. Maybe you could, I don't know, restaff yourself with actual gamers who care about things. Fuck. Oh yeah, check this out. Check this out, guys. Check this out. This is blatant theft. Wait, what do you mean, Von Sanek? I need outside intervention? I need to think before talking? What do you mean? I haven't said anything crazy at all. This is blatant theft from indigenous people. Even as a Native person, I would never apply for a scholarship like this because I'm not enrolled nor live on a reservation and experience its potential hardships. This is so disrespectful because check this out. Here's a white girl in Canada, okay? So I applied for an Aboriginal scholarship a few months ago and wrote some random essay on treatment of Indigenous kids in school, and I actually got the scholarship. Good thing they don't have to look at me and notice I'm the whitest person ever. This is some Elizabeth Warren shit, dude. So it turns out I won that scholarship nationally, not provincially. And like tens of thousands of people over Canada apply for it, and I'm the third person in 30 years from Nova Scotia to win. So I have to do a photo op next Friday with one of those giant checks. So it's going to be time for your girl to take fake tan, or else it's going to be embarrassing. And here she is with her fake tan. Congratulations to Ainsley Wynot. Ainsley is the daughter of NSGEU member Tanya Wynot, and he was recently awarded one of 6 scholarships from our affiliate union, NUPJ. She was awarded the scholarship for Indigenous students. Wow, dude. This is nothing like using Native face to get native scholarships. This is peak Elizabeth Warren, guys. This is so fucking stupid. Okay. Oh, so Don Cherry was trending in Canada. Okay. Don Cherry was trending. And those of you who don't know who Don Cherry is, Americans will most likely know Don Cherry as that hockey guy in a JonTron video, his Goosebumps video. He was the hockey coach of like the little kids hockey team in his Goosebumps video. What he actually is he is one of the most well-known Canadians, at least within Canada. Like, Jordan Peterson's probably the most well-known Canadian outside of Canada, and Justin Trudeau. But like within Canada, you've got David Suzuki, who's like an environmentalist activist, and you have Don Cherry. Don Cherry has been commentating hockey games for like 50 years. And he has a hello, Undead Ocarina Gamer, what's up? He has a long-running show for the past 50 years called Coach's Corner. When he talks about hockey, he's very well known. You know, he's well loved by a lot of Canadians. Well, apparently he said this, and I'm going to turn on the audio for this so we can actually watch it, and we can check this out, okay? Because apparently Don Cherry right now is trending. So let's watch this shit, okay? Here we go.
Poppy, and I'm not going to wait. He says, wait a minute. How about running it for the people that buy them? Now, you go to the small cities, and you know the rows on rows. You people love you that come here, whatever it is. You love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you could pay a couple of bucks for poppies or something like that. These guys pay for your way of life that you enjoy in Canada. These guys paid the biggest price. Anyhow, I'm going to run it again for you great people and good Poppy. And I'm not going to wait. He says, wait a minute.
So, I don't know if Americans have Remembrance Day. I think it's only like a Commonwealth thing, and you spend like $1, and you get a poppy, and you wear a poppy on Remembrance Day, and it's like a World War I holiday in Canada. I think it's in the UK as well, and in like other other Commonwealth countries. I don't think the United States has it, but basically, there are people who are coming over and they don't want to wear poppies on Remembrance Day, and that's fine because half the time I don't wear a poppy on Remembrance Day. All right. But like there's also been pushes to make the poppy rainbow colored, like have all the various petals of the flower be the different colors of the rainbow for LGBT stuff, even though Remembrance Day isn't about LGBT. It's a veterans thing. Canadian soldiers died in World War I. Like, It's not about gay people. Not everything has to be about fucking gay people. All right. So, I don't necessarily agree with Don Cherry in this, but now people are calling Don Cherry to be canceled because he believes that immigrants are being disrespectful by not wearing poppies on Remembrance Day, even though, frankly, a lot of Canadians don't wear them, and I don't wear them sometimes. So I don't really care about the situation. However, what's really funny is Don Cherry's always been like this. He's been on TV for 50 years, and he's always been like this. He's always been just kind of shooting from the hip crazy and in like an almost Canadian Trump style capacity where he's just said whatever the fuck he wants and he doesn't really care. He's like, yeah, I fucking think this. Who gives a shit? Like, fuck you. Wear the poppy. Wear the poppy, bigot. He doesn't care what he says. And people like him because of that. But and you know what? He has said a lot of things that are this bad or worse over the years. But now, because it's 2019 and because Twitter's fucking everywhere, now they want Don Cherry canceled. It's not going to happen, but it's just funny. It was funny to see it trend. Let's see. Anyone who's shocked at Don Cherry's racist comments hasn't been paying attention. He's always been an ass. Yes, he is. That's his appeal, is that he's just like a fucking nut job, but it's great. This stream started at 10, not 11 a.m. The Hills, $5. Don Cherry versus Don Lemon. Apparently, Spawn Camp, $2. It's Memorial Day in the States. Okay. Do you guys still wear poppies, though? Is it still, like, specifically a World War I Memorial Day? Don Cherry flat out blames recent immigrants as the root cause of his completely anecdotal observation that fewer Canadians are wearing poppies these days. Yeah, see, I don't think you guys understand. These people, these idiots, these young kids, yeah, I'm a boomer on this one, they don't understand what Coach's Corner is. Coach's Corner is a show where Don Cherry says wild shit. That's the point. He's an old white supremacist. He's an ignorant old racist. These reactions are why he does it. You're getting outraged is the point of the show. He's almost like a true capitalist radio type in a sense. Lots of people who were fine with Justin Trudeau wearing blackface are all of a sudden outraged over Don Cherry saying people should wear poppies. Yeah, dude. It's almost like you don't actually give a shit about any of this. You idiots. It's so fucking transparent. It's all armed forces in the States. Okay, thanks, Hills. Thanks for the extra 5. I appreciate it. But yeah, like, you people come here, you love our way of life, you love our milk and honey, at least you could pay a couple bucks for a poppy. It shouldn't be a necessity to wear them, but it's a reasonable thing to ask, yeah. The vast silent majority of Canadians will agree with what Don Cherry said. Canada's elites fail to realize how many Canadians want to hear a message of patriotism, even if delivered aggressively. Exactly. That's why he's still going to be on the air after this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at what he wears. Look at what he wears. Okay, give me a second here. I'm just going to take this away. Let me show you something, okay? Let me show you something. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just going to collect a few images that you might find fucking hilarious, okay? Here, let's come back. Let's come back. Look at what this motherfucker wears. Look at this dude. A blue and white checkered suit, okay? A plaid checkered suit, okay? A polka dot checkered suit. This is a Canadian suit. We got a shiny yellow suit. Striped green suit. A pink suit with flowers. Ooh, yellow and black. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool, dude. a comic suit with a bunch of comics on it. Don Cherry is a wild caricature, all right? That is the point of him. That is why he's popular in Canada. That's why people who don't even like hockey, they'll watch Coach's Corner in Canada. Because he's insane. Shaming him over poppies and immigrants will not work. It will not work. Mark the Cyborg, $7. As a point of clarification, Remembrance Day isn't really for veterans or soldiers. It's specifically about the fallen. It's totally apolitical. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, and Remembrance Day in the Commonwealth is not about living soldiers. It's about dead soldiers, and specifically dead soldiers that died in World War I. That was the whole In Flanders Fields poem, because a whole bunch of Canadian soldiers and British soldiers died in that specific battle, and a bunch of poppies grew on the battlefield later. And so the poppy is the symbol of Remembrance Day. It's for a specific battle, and it's for people that died. It's not a generic veterans thing. You know, I'll close some of these tabs. I'll just get rid of all these suits of Don Cherries, and we'll move on. Oh yeah. So Tulsi Gabbard is reading Wizard of Coz's book. Cool, man. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard is going to win, but if there was somebody on the Democratic side that could beat Trump, it's her. You know, Bernie might have been able to beat Trump before his heart attack. Not anymore. Gillibrand could have beat Trump if she didn't drop out. Tulsi Gabbard can beat Trump, but Democrats aren't going to let her. They aren't going to let her actually be the nominee. It's going to be Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden, and neither of them can beat Trump. I'm hoping for Tulsi 2024 because she is the one, guys. She's the one. $5 from Saniko. All of Cherry's suits are sold for charity. He's also on point when he talks hockey, especially when he calls out Europeans for being sissies. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're into a different set of articles now. These are articles that I couldn't use. I had them in my list of articles for a certain video topic, but I couldn't use them in that topic. So, for example, this was in my What is a Refugee bundle of articles, and I just couldn't fit it in the video, so we're going to talk about it today. Erdogan's threat to Europe. The president says he will send 3.6 million refugees to the continent if Turkey's invasion of Syria is defined as an occupation, as he boasts 109 terrorists have died. Hey, EU, wake up. I say it again. If you try to frame our operation there as an invasion, our task is simple. We will open the doors and send 3.6 million migrants to you. Wait, he said migrants, not refugees. Come on, guys. Come on. So, apparently these refugees, these migrants, are being weaponized by Turkey against the EU. And that is the case because Turkey does know that the EU is too politically weak to actually prevent this. Like, they're not going to have a wall or put a military at the border and say, you can't come in, and then fire if they don't stop coming in. Like, you have to do that. If you're going to defend a border and you have millions of people peacefully walking towards your border and you can't stop them, eventually you have to physically stop them. You know, it's just how it is. And frankly, it's why places like Hungary and Poland are actually kind of surviving the whole refugee migrant crisis. But anyway, they talk about 109 terrorists have been killed in Syria. The whole Syria Turkey thing is just a big clusterfuck because there's no real way to do it, you know? Like, if Trump stayed, the left would call him an imperialist, imposing his will on the rest of the world. You know, a warmonger. If Trump left, and then, of course, because Trump leaves, you know, other people in the area, the Russians, the Syrians, the Turks, the Kurdish, they're all human beings, and they're all moral agents of their own, with their own ideas. They're going to start fighting again. Like, if America is going to stay in one place in the world and just act as a big fat deterrent, you can do that. You know, if you want to say, hey, you know what, we're gonna export our sense of human rights around the world, and you guys don't get to fight each other, and if we have to do it militarily, we'll do that. There's a reasonable argument to be made there, but there's also a reasonable argument to pull out and let people handle their own affairs. And when you do that, guess what? Some of these places that have not really developed the philosophical concepts of universal human rights, they start fighting. That's what happens, you know? Not everywhere is the West. Not everywhere is North America or Europe or even like the better parts of Asia or Australia or any other place that has human rights, universal human rights, you know? Not everywhere is that. These people don't care about that. So they're going to fight. And it's like either you prevent them or you don't. Like, and if you pull out and say, you know what, fuck it, handle your own problems, you can't complain when they handle it by fighting each other, you know? But in terms of the immigrants that Erdogan is threatening against the EU, frankly, if the EU is actually scared of Turkey, then they're a paper tiger as well. Well, Von Sanek, I think that's also like an EU problem. A lot of Eastern Europe is being fucked by Western Europe at the moment due to free movement. Let's continue. This is another one that I couldn't really fit into the What is a Refugee video. Iraqi refugees are removing GPS trackers to avoid deportation. Damn, dude. Some Iraqi refugees in Michigan are removing GPS tethers to evade immigration officials and deportation before their court cases are heard, according to an attorney representing nearly 24 refugees. At least 7 Iraqi nationals have removed tethers in Michigan over the past month. The men have spent most of their lives in the United States, raising children, working, establishing roots. They cut their tethers because they get to a point of desperation. A number of Iraqi nationals that were caught up in 2017 immigration raids and are being deported for crimes the government believes violate the U.S. immigration laws. Well, what are the crimes? They've argued in federal court against repatriation to Iraq, saying refugees face torture or death because of their Christian heritage, for having served in the U.S. military, or for seeking U.S. asylum. Well, one, if they're like going to be deported, like when you seek asylum, the government considers your case. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm under the impression that when you seek asylum, if you're in the United States and you seek asylum, the government has an obligation to hold off on deporting you until your asylum claim has been processed. Whether or not it's keep you there or not keep you there, you're still allowed to stay until the processing's done. I was under, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't get it. Okay, that would be the reasonable thing to do, at least. Additionally, I was also under the impression that a foreigner serving in the U.S. military is in fact a fast track to citizenship. There are a lot of people who are not Americans who say, you know what, I'll join the U.S. military, and then they fast track you to being a citizen of the States because you've served. And you know what? If you are going to apply for asylum because you might get killed overseas, being a Christian from Iraq is a pretty good argument. So either the system's completely flawed, which is possible, or these people haven't gone through the proper steps to actually become a citizen. Which is more likely? It could be either. I don't know. They cut their tethers because he was sentenced to death. He didn't want to be sent back. Well, have you done all you can in terms of not being sent back legally rather than running away? Who knows? Because the article's done. That's the end of it. Thanks for the $5, Artemis. People haven't been able to handle their own affairs for 4,000 years. Where do they start now? Who knows, man? I don't fucking get it. Here, let me go on a short break, if you don't mind. I'm going to go to the washroom, get something else to drink, and we'll continue with the second half of the articles. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little bit less. BRB. Hello, I'm back. The common consensus seems to be that I should be playing music on the stream, on the break. You guys think so? Maybe I will. I'll get something prepared for next stream. Would you guys like some Catherine music? I've been playing Catherine recently on Game Boomers, and it's a fun game. It's a good game. It's a good time. I enjoy. The Kumite. Now that's a name that I haven't heard in a long time. The Morning Kumite. Whatever happened to those guys? Like, none of those blood sports channels seem to be around anymore. Jim and Ralph got banned into oblivion. The Kumite seems to be gone. Ah, shut up, Butters. Hold on. I have some Catherine music downloaded. I was going to use it in a video. I forgot to put it in. I uploaded the video and forgot that I had it already downloaded. I just like, oh yeah, this is fine. Didn't even put it in because I'm an idiot. Let me see if I can play it right now, though, okay? Here we go. Let's see how loud it is. That's loud. How does that sound? That's not bad, eh? This is a nice, little track to enjoy when you're sipping on a warm drink on a cold day. Yeah, Underdog Arena. I'm currently playing Catherine Full Body on Game Boomers. It's one of the ongoing games for the stream. Copyright now? Oh no, I've been copyright struck. R.I.P. It'll be okay. I'll just pause it. Okay, let's get back to the news, shall we? Let's continue. Let's bring in the desktop. So there was a bunch of articles that I wanted to use for my Emma the Incel video. And a bunch of them just didn't fit. So I'm going to go over them the same way that I went over the last ones. So we have like boys on the side. The hookup culture that has largely replaced dating on college campuses has been viewed in many quarters as socially corrosive and ultimately toxic to women, who seemingly have little choice but to participate. You could just not. When a guy wants to hook up with you, you could say no. Just be like, no, I will not. It's real easy. Ocarina Gamer, it hasn't been censored so far in what I've been playing. Jim does live streams that get archived. Well, apparently Jim gets fucked by YouTube, so there's that. Anyway, yeah, it's really funny that like the second wave of feminism, which really drove to make sex kind of be the hookup culture variant that it is right now, they're like, oh shit, this is actually ruining things for women. It's like, oh, it's patriarchy's fault, even though we did this. It's like, you guys are dumb. And it's basically the porn pic being passed around on the students' cell phones at an Ivy League school last fall was more prank than smut. A woman in a wool pom-pom hat giving a snowman with a snow penis a blowjob. Snow blowing, it's called. The men at the party flashed the snapshot at the woman, and the woman barely bothered to roll their eyes. These were not women's studies types for sure. They were already several years out of college and proud veterans of the much maligned hookup culture that, over the past 15 years or so, has largely replaced dating. So, yeah, basically they're complaining that men act like kids, and women, rather than being, rather than clutching their curls, clutching their pearls about it, are they're okay with raunchy humor. It's like, well, I'm sorry that we don't live in the Victorian fucking era anymore. I mean, she just calls it juvenile, fine, whatever. But that's what a whole bunch of this is here. Like, and then we get to like the really interesting part of the article here. I found barely anyone who even noticed the vulgarity anymore until I came across a new student. She had arrived 2 weeks earlier from Argentina. She and I stood by the bar at one point and watched a woman put her hand on a guy's inner thigh, shortly before they disappeared together. In another corner of the room, a beautiful Asian woman in her second year at school was entertaining the 6 guys around her with her best imitation of an Asian prostitute, winning the Tucker Max showdown before any of the guys had even tried to make a move on her. She eventually told the shortest guy in the group she eventually chose the shortest guy in the group to go home with because, she later told me, he seemed like he'd be the best in bed. Here in America, the girls, they give up their mouth, their ass, their tits, the Argentinian said to me, punctuating each with the appropriate hand motion. Before they even know the guy. It's like, hello, you want to hook up? Sure. They're so aggressive. Do they have hearts of steel or something? In my country, a girl like this would be desperate. or a prostitute. So there we have it. America has unseated the Scandinavian countries for the title of easiest lay. We are, in the world's estimation, a nation of prostitutes, and not even prostitutes with hearts of gold. Admittedly, what the Argentinian and I had just witnessed fills the nightmares of those who lament the evil hookup culture. Ubiquitous porn, young women so inured to ubiquitous porn they don't even bother to protest, young women behaving exactly like frat boys, and no one is guarding the virtues of honor, chivalry, or even lasting love. This is the world you wanted. Seriously, this is the world you wanted. You didn't want men to fawn all over you and treat you like you were some kind of a China doll. You wanted to be equal. You wanted to be like men. You wanted to have sex like men. And now we're living in that world. What did you expect was going to happen? And, as it turns out, you always get people who get mad that guys sometimes look overseas for actual girlfriend material, like, say, this Argentinian woman. And they get pissed about that, you know? I've told this story a few times on the channel. I might as well tell it again. There are definitely... Oh, wait, hold on. What's this? What the hell is this? Oh, okay, never mind. Anyway, there are definitely, like... When I was in my early and mid-20s, I dated 2 Asian women. One for nearly 7 years, one for about 6 months. Both from China. Both who were definitely, like, not... sorry. The first one was definitely not a product of hookup culture, you know? She was in it for a relationship. Those relationships had their problems. But what was interesting about it is that I got really maligned by a lot of Canadian women, like girls that I knew from high school, who I was still like talking with and was friendly with and was friends with in high school. You know, my first year of university, I came back to my hometown with my Asian girlfriend, visited the hometown, visited my parents, visited my friends. And almost universally, a lot of those white women, even the ones that very clearly didn't have an interest in me, they were straight up like, oh, the only reason that you're dating that Asian woman is because you can't get a white woman. You can't get a woman from your own culture because, you know, she doesn't understand the language. She doesn't know English is her second language, not her first language. And she doesn't really have our cultural sensibilities. So she doesn't understand how you're a loser the way that we understand how you're a loser. So she's kind of being duped by you. She's being exploited by you. She can't possibly actually like you. And you couldn't handle a white woman anyway. You couldn't handle a Canadian woman. And therefore, and like I even had one person tell me that my relationship with her wasn't real because there was no way we'd be able to connect. And I was like, Jesus. I also got told because she didn't talk much, because, you know, English was her second language, and she was kind of like meek and quiet, and she was petite and tiny. And she was like, a lot of these women would be like, well, you're just dating, you know, basically a China doll. And you just want someone who is subservient and will just listen to you, you know? And you couldn't actually handle a woman who has a personality. And eventually I was just like, you know, fuck you guys. I never really liked you in high school. Why am I still hanging out with you now? Fuck off. So that was the end of that relationship, you know? And now I'm dating a girl who is Canadian, who is Canadian and is white. She's Jewish, but white as well. And she has, and she's not flat chested or petite. She's thick and she has a big butt and she has big boobies. And now I'm told that the only reason I'm dating her is because she has big tits. And it's like, no, you know, yes, being physically attractive is important. Attracted to your partner is important. It's not nothing. It's not everything. And it's not the only thing. But it's still part of it. Like, fuck me, man. It really seems like, because I was kind of like a nerdy guy in high school, right? I'm still a nerdy gal, right? A nerdy guy now. Nerdy gal, Jesus, no. I'm still a nerdy guy now, but I was really a nerdy guy in high school. And the projection was my relationships that I had, that these people who knew me to be a nerd, none of them really counted. For whatever reason they could think of. You know, maybe you're objectifying her in this way or that way or whatever. Name a reason. It's not a real relationship because I'm a nerd. Okay, I understand the logic. Like, fuck you guys, but I get the logic. I think this is, and I don't have this fully mapped out in my head yet, but I think it's somehow related to, yeah, she's a nerdy girl. It's somehow related to the whole incel thing, you know? Like, incels are people who, for one reason or another, can't get girlfriends. And they're lonely, and they're bitter about it, and they're sad, and they're in this, like, downward spiral, and sometimes they get violent about it, okay? So, if that's what incels are, and if pushing people that you really want to malign into that incel box is a weapon that you're going to use against somebody, because it is. Like, you see lots of people say, hey, you're a fucking incel, and it's like, no, I'm not. I've had sex before. What makes me an incel? You know? Shit like that. Okay? If that's the case, then when you have real relationships, they're still going to try and delegitimize them because they're assholes and because they want you to be that sexless loser they have in their mind about you. It's fucking terrible. Merc, $2. Canadian women. I was stories about Sudbury. Oof. What was Aiden from Sudbury or something? I'm no Alpha Chad, that's for sure. But anyway, yeah, like, this is the culture that the feminists wanted. And now that it's here, they're writing articles about how they don't like it. And it's like, well, you have to live with it. You know? You open the floodgates. You can't go back. Pandora's box is opened. I refuse my wife to keep my Volcel status. That's the way. I always make the joke, I'm not an incel, I'm not a Volcel. I'm involuntary incelibate, meaning that I don't want to have sex, but I'm forced to by my girlfriend. Dragon fat. Oh, you're in Sault Ste. Marie? Sault Ste. Marie is even more of a shithole than Sudbury. You know, Dragon Fat, I actually have, like, no doubt in my mind that Nicole probably did do some weird catfishing shit. She was always kind of a shady person. I do know. I don't want to get too much into it since some of it's private, and frankly, if it ever gets back to her, it could probably, like, damage her job. But I'll say this, at least. I do know that, when she worked as a teacher's assistant at the university here in town, she has moved away since then, but when she worked as a teacher's assistant then, she would sometimes fuck students. Now, these were of age students, and they weren't her students, but there was still, like, a bit of a power imbalance there. These were university students, right? I got a hold on. I got a text from Naomi. Naomi wants me to send her a grocery list so she can buy stuff. Can I get a sip? Yeah, sure, Alice. Thanks for $2. There you go. Okay. I need to text Naomi a grocery list. Let me see. Guys, what should Naomi buy for groceries? I know we need peanut butter. We need lettuce. Wait. Hold on a minute. Devo, no. What do you mean? God damn it. I was never a catfish, Dragon Fat. Milk, a dragon dildo, mayo, kale, coffee. I know know we need peanut butter, lettuce. What else do we need? Hold on. I gotta go check the fridge. Give me a second. I have to do this real quick. I'm not getting donuts. I'm not getting fucking donuts. Okay. Eggs. This was the third thing that we needed. Lettuce, eggs. Oh god, what else do we got here? Fruits and vegetables, cheese and meat, coffee, milk, chicken breasts, drugs, condoms and lube, anal beads, hormone blockers, new broth, pork chops, nipple clamps, pizza, turkey. Here's what I'll do. Avocados. Okay. The first person that super chats something they want bought at the grocery store, I'll actually add it to the grocery store list, okay? Donuts, I'm too fat for donuts, dude. Almond milk, matzo balls, rope loop, and carrots. Boomer flavored coffee. Bacon. Hot Pockets. Meth. That's great, dude. You guys are awesome. Yogurt. Gummy bears. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's go to the next article if you don't mind. Whiskey. Hente. Okay, I'll send her the text. From Merck. Also by Hente. And Boomer Juice. Thanks, Zirindu. And from the hills, Charleston. Oh god, here come everything. Okay, hold on. The hills, Keyblade Master Andy, DRT is king, and Matapasta and John Slasowski for all those super chats. Thank you very much. I will add these. I'm adding them to the list right now. Okay. Also by Hente and Boomer Juice and Charleston Chew and mac and cheese and eggnog and what else do we got? Pork rinds. That's because she hates pork rinds, isn't it? Isn't it, Matapasta? And cocaine. And toothpaste flavored. Hold on. Orange juice. This is so stupid. All right. I'm sending all of them. That's the whole list. Okay. Let's continue. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the money. Okay, this was also another one that didn't fit into that Emma video. I'm furious because the guy who I rejected a few weeks ago started dating another girl. What can I do? How can he ignore my rejection and find another partner? Well, in finding another partner, he has ignored your rejection. You rejected? Then he moved on. What is he supposed to do? Orbit around you for the next 10 years and just keep giving you things? Did you expect to hold on to him and just like use him as whatever you needed for the time and then didn't discard him? Hey, Thrawn Ritter. How's it going? Where have you been? Welcome back. But yeah, and look at all these related questions. What happens if I reject a guy and then later on I realize I want to be with him? Can I still win him over? Should I express my love to a guy whom I rejected around 3 times in the past but suddenly fell in love with him? How would a guy whom I rejected feel if I liked him now but he doesn't like me anymore? I rejected him, and now when I see him in class, he ignores me. I feel bad. Why does he do this? This guy was head over heels for me, and I rejected him. But now I like him, and he friend zones me. Why? It's like, shut up. This is the world you wanted, and this is the world that you got. This is another one that I was going to use for that video, but it didn't fit. Grandmother stops mass shooting plot by taking grandson for treatment. This is how you actually help incels, frankly. You can definitely see when someone's beginning to radicalize, and frankly, if you reach out, you can help them. And like anyone can be helped. You don't have to go down a terrible road. You know, if you know somebody close to you that's having a problem, you know, you can always help other people. A Texas grandmother is being hailed as a hero for convincing her troubled grandson to seek medical help after he allegedly informed her he was planning to shoot up a hotel. The grandmother, who's not been identified, was instrumenting in preventing a mass shooting at a hotel. Her grandson, who was 19, faces one firearm-related charge in connection with the incident. The name of the hotel has not been released. This was a tragedy averted. I want to praise the defendant's grandmother who saved lives by interrupting the plot. News of the narrowly averted massacre comes as the U.S. grapples with 2 mass shootings. Yep. He told his grandmother he recently acquired the AK-47 and he was planning to shoot up a hotel, then commit suicide by cop. You don't otherize potential shooters. You don't expel them from society even further. Like Ellen Powell's stupidity of, you have incels, what are you going to do about it? Talk to them. That will help 99% of cases. His grandmother heard him out and then offered him another option. She would come down to the hotel, meet him in person, and take him to the hospital for treatment. The suspect agreed to his grandmother's plan and gave up on his own. He set aside his gun and laid out all of his armaments on the hotel bed, then checked into the hospital with his grandmother at his side. Then he was arrested after he left the hospital. Well, you know what? Yeah. He has a gun charge on him now. He did do something illegal, but he's not dead. And other people are not dead. This is a victory. And no one's going to see it that way. No one who matters, anyway. Oh yeah, this shit. This is, again, an older article that I was going to use in a video that ultimately didn't fit in the video. Study finds heterosexual women prefer benevolently sexist men. It's been demonstrated that women are more attracted to men with attitudes of benevolent sexism. A new study asks why. Well, it's obvious why. Girls want shit. And so do guys. People want shit. You know? To be benevolently sexist is to say, I believe women are worthy of protection. And I'm going to help. I'm going to protect. I'm going to I'm going to treat them with preference. You know? They want chivalrous men. That's why. You don't need a study to figure this out. It's obvious. Yep. Another new study presents evidence of what heterosexual women want. The study, recently published, called Benevolent Sexism and Mate Preferences. Why do women prefer benevolent men despite recognizing that they can be undermining? It refers to an affectionate but patronizing attitude that treats women as needing men's help, protection, and provision. It's because they want men's help, protection, and provision. They want someone who will dote on them, and that's not unreasonable to want because it doesn't matter the gender of people. You want a partner who will have your back, who will help you when you can't help yourself, who will do things for you and make you feel loved and appreciated. Men want it too. Like, fuck me, dude. I don't treat women with benevolent sexism. I just treat my girlfriend as somebody that I care for and want to have a good life. You know? That's all it is. I know that Naomi's very capable of doing almost everything herself. That's not a reason for me not to help out or be a part of her life or to encourage her or to be there for her. and for her to do the same things for me. Just some ice left in the bottom of the water glass. Listen to that. Research has shown that women prefer benevolently sexist men and even find these men more attractive than non-benevolent sexist men. Yeah, it's because men who are sexist but not benevolently so treat women like shit. And then men who are not sexist and not benevolently sexist, they're like asexual beings in a sense. They're just, I don't get it. It's so stupid. Anyway. Oh yeah. In looking at finding this, I also found this. I thought this guy would always want me, and now he's moving on. There's a guy I work with, and he's always made it obvious that he's interested in me. He's drunk texted me and told me he loves me. He's asked me out on dates, and he's even gone as far as borderline sexual harassment. Well, this is a reason that you don't want him around, isn't it? I've always done my best to just put space between us and establish boundaries, and it's never crossed a line where I felt I really needed to go to HR, but it's got very close. Yeah, I figured like the sexual harassment might be it, but I guess you didn't figure that. I recently found out he's got a girlfriend now. They've only been together for about a month, but she's pretty. She's very well educated. Apparently, she has him completely whipped. And he talks about her like she's the greatest thing to ever happen to him. And I'm not interested in this guy at all. But I'm feeling kind of upset about this. He was always so into me. He always showered me with compliments. And now he's in a relationship with some other girl and he's happy? I know it's shitty of me, but I always assumed he would always just be pining after me. This is a sociopath. This is a fucking sociopath, and this guy is free of her, and she's not liking it. This guy could even sexually harass her, but as long as she keeps getting that dopamine rush from him going around and buzzing around her and like giving her stuff and giving her compliments, she was fine with it. As soon as the guy moves on, now she's mad. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. But also, look at this. Look at this. Why do you think women want benevolently sexist men? I don't know. Why do you think a woman wants a guy who sexually harasses her to still be attracted to her and follow her around like a puppy? Very clearly, she's getting something out of it that is more valuable to her than being a victim of harassment. It's almost like women are terrible people just as much as men are. The National Health Service, the NHS in the UK, to deny treatment for racist or sexist language, gestures, and behavior. So, this is the problem with a monopoly. I'm going to make a larger video on this later. This is the problem with a monopoly, is that once the monopoly's been established, people can do whatever the fuck they want, especially if it's a government monopoly. So, if you have a universal healthcare service, you can just make it a little bit less universal if you have wrongthink. The North Bristol NHS Trust announced that patients will be subject to a sports-style disciplinary yellow card and then a final red card in which treatment would be withdrawn as soon as it's safe. The policy covers not just threatening or offensive language, but also racist or sexist language, gestures, or behavior, more generally, as well as malicious allegations. Malicious allegations. A rather troubling caveat, given the NHS has been in the past entangled in large-scale malpractice scandals, which hospitals and staff have denied. So, if you make if the operation goes wrong and the doctor blows your dick off, and you're like, well, shit, dude, I want my fucking penis back. I'm suing you for millions of dollars. That's a malicious allegation, and you're not getting treated anymore. This is a terrifying precedent. Yeah, see, you said it too, none other. It's nightmarish, dude. And yeah, who's going to determine what is racist or sexist? Who has that fucking authority? It's wild, man. How low the bar for deeming behavior discriminatory and sufficiently offensive to withdraw treatment is not spelled out in explicit terms. Well, it fucking has to be. If this is going to be... fuck, dude. Racist tweets equals no chemotherapy. Yep. Dude, nowadays, if Total Biscuit were still alive going through his chemo nowadays, he'd probably be not given chemo in the UK. Be like, nope, sorry. For example, in late 2017, an NHS patient who requested a female nurse to carry out a cervical smear complained when the hospital sent a person with an obviously male appearance, close cropped hair, a male facial appearance and voice, large number of tattoos and facial stubble, who insisted, "My gender is not a male, I'm a transsexual." Sure, dude. To be taken seriously as a trans person, you have to at least put effort into passing. Like, even if you don't pass, even if you obviously look like a dude in a dress with long hair and makeup on, if you're putting effort into passing, people will give you the benefit of the doubt. You know? But you can't just be like, "Oh, I'm a girl now." Guys, okay. I'm a girl now, identified as a woman. All of you must call me she. I don't need to change anything about myself. I can still be, a fat shit. I can still be very obviously a dude with a growing in beard. No, I'm a woman now. You must call me a woman. I'm the girliest girl that ever lived. Oh, God. The NHS has to fight white privilege in what? Helping white people. This is terrible. Wait. The country's national banner was offensive? Removal of the British flag? Dude, the UK is cucked. The UK is... Yeah, it's pretty terrifying when you define racist as anything criticizing non-whites and immigrants. The UK is cucked, guys. The UK is cucked. Facebook and Instagram banned the sexual use of eggplant and peach emojis. Good fucking luck, dude. There's no way that's gonna fly. Facebook and Instagram have updated the company's community standards language to effectively ban the use of eggplant and peach emojis with a sexual connotation. The language was updated to say that suggestive elements that could get you banned when posted with nude imagery, sex acts, or sex partners, as well as sex chat conversations, now includes contextually specific and commonly sexual emojis or emoji strings. The platforms will flag and sometimes even ban your account if you use the eggplant or peach emojis with a sexual context, according to the adult industry site XBiz. Instagram noted, "We aren't taking action on simply the emojis." Well, if you were taking action on simply the emojis, wouldn't it be easier to just fucking remove them from being able to be used? Just like, I'll just delete the emojis. You can't use them anymore. But this is stupid. I mean, this is akin to like your phone company saying, "Hey, you can't call a sex hotline, or you can't call up your girlfriend and have sexy talk with your girlfriend over the phone. You can't do that because it's our service, and fuck you." I still think these people need to neutrally treat all speech on their platform as just speech that they're ferrying from one party to another, not actually publishing it themselves. But frankly, Facebook is cancer, and so is Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. All cancerous. Pregnant mom goes into labor on Halloween, only to find her doctors dressed as the Joker. Let's put a smile on that face. This is hilarious, dude. Let me find it here. Let me find it. Never had a baby, even though the due date is more of a rough estimate than a sure thing. Some babies just can't wait to get out of there. Others take a little bit more time. Either way, mom was always on high alert, waiting for that special moment to finally happen. There was even a pregnant OBGYN who went into labor while she was delivering someone else's baby. It's almost like some babies actually try to come when you least expect them. This never seems more true than on holidays, when you, and likely your doctors, have other plans. So, apparently, Brittany's doctor was getting into the holiday spirit, and their third born was about to be delivered by someone dressed as the Joker from the Batman franchise. This is another feel-good story, just kind of funny. Look at this dude. It's like, yeah, I'm here to deliver your baby. Don't worry, I won't eat it. Don't worry, I won't eat it, dude. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I mentioned to my wife I should go get some face paint and fix up as Harley Quinn. That'd be pretty good, actually. Anyway, that's kind of funny. What's this? Oh yeah, this link isn't working anymore. I'll just read to you the URL so that you know what's going on. Lady tattoos HIV on her private part to announce she has the virus. So I saw this earlier. You know where women usually get like the tramp stamp, the front tramp stamp, like kind of on their like right below their stomach. She put HIV positive there. She's like a hot looking woman too, but she looks like she's been around the block a few times, guys. She's been on that carousel a couple times, you know. Anyway, this is a little bit older, but still relevant. UK's controversial porn blocker plan has been dropped. So a few years ago, if you recall, a few years ago, actually, I'm going to take this previous link and use it for something else. But a few years ago, there was a plan to block porn in the UK. That was quietly shelved about 2 or 3 weeks ago. The government has dropped a plan to use strict age verification checks to stop under-18s viewing porn online. It said the policy, which was initially set to launch in April 2018, would not be coming after repeated delays and fears it would not work. Because it fucking wouldn't. Because you know what? People can just, like, shoot their own porn and upload it. You can't stop common people from doing what they want to do. The so-called porn blocker would have forced commercial porn providers to verify users' ages or face a UK ban. It wasn't going to work, yeah. Critics warned that many under-18s would have found it relatively easy to bypass the restriction using virtual private networks, which disguise their location, or simply turn to porn hosting platforms not covered by the law, such as Reddit or Twitter. Done! Fuck you! Dankula can finally fap to trap porn in peace. It was a plan, said ministers, to protect children from stumbling across pornography. The objective found to be hugely popular with parents and anyone who's concerned about child safety. Yeah, see, however, never going to work. And frankly, you're not going to stop under-18s from looking at porn. You're not. You're just not, man. Like, how many of you, here, show of hands, you can say yes or no in the chat, like YRN in the chat room, okay? How many of you, when you were under 18, still managed to find porn on the internet? And you were in high school and you just said, my parents are gone for today. I want a quick wank. Let's watch some internet porn. Let's go to Pornhub. Maybe you're a little bit older. Maybe you downloaded it on Kazaa or something. Like, how many of you found porn? How many of you found porn when you were under 18 and it was easy to get and you just enjoyed it? Yes or no? This is something that's been happening since we had, like, porn magazines. Yes. Yeah, of course. Something like back before the internet, we had like porn magazines, dude. People still underage found porn. Dragon Fat, of course you would. Dragon Fat, you were probably shoving eggplants in your vagoo when you were like 8 years old, dude. Lots of yeses. Oh, one person said no. The one pure man. But anyway, yeah, this was stupidity. This is stupidity. It was never going to work. And they kind of figured it out, I guess. Florida teacher fired for giving zeros to students who didn't turn in their work. Isn't that what a zero is? When you don't turn in your work, what mark are you supposed to get, dude? Bye, kids. Mrs. Torrado loves you. Have enjoyed the best in life. I've been fired for giving you 50% for not turning anything in. or for refusing to give you 50%. A Florida teacher has been fired for giving her students zeros for missing assignments. Deanne Tirado has been a teacher for 8 years. Most recently, she was an 8th grade history teacher in St. Lucie, Florida. Diane recently gave her students 2 weeks to complete an Explorer notebook project. But several students simply didn't hand it in. Since there was zero work done, she gave them zeros. She got fired for it. The elementary school has a rule called the no zero policy. The lowest possible grade that teachers can give students is 50, even if they don't turn anything in. Well, that's because a student who does no work ever would therefore get 50 all the time. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 for everything. And so they would not fail a year and be held back, even though they should have been. And so they would get pushed through the school system, even though they're not qualified to graduate, just so they can get the fuck out of it. It's bullshit. It's BS. It's a rule that Diane, unsurprisingly, does not agree with. After she was fired for disobeying, she left her students trying to get my message. Bye, kids. Mrs. Tirado loves you and wishes the best in life. I've been fired for refusing to give you 50% on front handing anything in. Love, Miss Tirado. Diane later shared the story on Facebook, hoping to spread awareness about the school's policy. An A grade in Miss Tirado's class is earned, she said, as it should be. I'm so upset because we have a nation of kids that are expecting to get paid and live their life just for showing up, and it's not real. Agreed. I'm going to save this one too, because I think I can use it in a future video. I have an idea for it. The final article for today, my friends. Actually, wait. Let me quickly... I have to piss again suddenly. God damn it. And you know what? Whenever I drink coffee, I got to piss like 4 times. BRB, real quick. Okay, back. Did that real quick. Instagram reportedly threatened users with removal of verified status for posting Snapchat content. This is the place that we're going to with social media, where now they're going to directly monitor you on other platforms. And not just in the sense of like how Twitch will ban you for off-platform behavior, or how Facebook will consider you a hate agent for off-platform behavior. I'm not talking about that. If you're somebody who uses both Instagram and Snapchat, and you post on your Snapchat, Instagram will threaten your removal. They'll threaten the removal of your verified status. So it's like, oh, you're verified on Instagram, but you also have a Snapchat? Well, not anymore. They want the monopoly, and they're going to do it this way because fuck you. What did Naomi say? She said, well, we don't have hentai at the store. Besides, it's better to buy a subscription to the site if you're going to buy it at all. Oh, dude, Naomi's one of those cucks who believes that you should buy subscriptions and not actually own things. I'm dumping her. Okay, guys, I'm single. Naomi's dumped. Need new GF. Anyone who wants to be my GF, press 1 in the chat room right now. 1. I'm gonna hold interviews for new GF. Let's keep going here. It appears that Facebook-owned Instagram is facing some serious criticism from the Federal Trade Commission regarding the tactics the social media giant has adopted over the years to tackle competition. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Instagram influencers were asked not to share anything related to Snapchat, including the Snap handles in their bios. Snapchat one. Thanks, Butters. Snapchat lawyers were so frustrated over Facebook with this move that they straight up named the internal document dealing with the issue Project Voldemort. Wait, Dragonfat, you're the one who's supposed to say one. God damn it. Look at all those ones. Well, as long as you guys in there can pass, we'll do it. The report also stated that if any influencer, all ones will be considered. I love you guys. It's great. The report also stated that if any influencers continued posting Snapchat content in their Instagram profile, they were threatened to get their verified status removed if they don't stop doing so. This is kind of like YouTube saying, oh, you can't advertise your Twitch because we do streaming now. It's like, fuck off. Fuck off, YouTube. She didn't say anything about pork rinds yet. The report also stated that if the influencers continued posting Snapchat content in their Instagram profile, they were threatened to get their verified... I just heard that. Sorry. Videos containing Snapchat filters and the Snapchat hashtag were also hidden from Instagram's search and results and the Explore tab. Wow, that's pretty shit. What do you think of Facebook's approach to establish a monopoly in social media? Well, Facebook's terrible. Getting zucked, guys. Getting zucked. That's awful. But that's the end. I have no more articles. All the tabs have been gone through. We have reached the end of the news. Of the weekly sip news. Let's just get rid of this here. I'll do a little bit of some more shilling at the end here. How to support the show if you like it. One-time donations, go to paypal.me/shortfightotaku. If you want to pay monthly, Patreon, Subscribestar, YouTube memberships, which is that join button below the video, and Twitch sub over at my gaming channel, which was twitch.tv/gameboomers. If you have Amazon Prime, you have one free Twitch sub you may give me. That gets me $2.50 for nothing on your end, except for the Amazon Prime. $5 a month, that gets you into the $5 club for 1 month. $100 gets you into the $5 club for life. That's how it is. So, how's everyone doing? Popping Skittles to expand my chest for you, SFO. Ha! If you feel like supporting me, that's how you do it. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing Game Boomers tonight on that Twitch channel. Dave and I are going to keep continuing our playthrough of Luigi's Mansion 3, which has honestly been a really fun game. So if you want to drop by Game Boomers tonight, you may do so. Watch us play Luigi's Mansion 3. I wear a Mario costume and Dave wears a Toad costume. Sure, Gregor, if you like. Devil's Advocate. Isn't this the same idea as not being able to stream on YouTube and have be a Twitch partner at the same time? Yes, it is, which is why it's stupid. Yeah. So, that's the situation. What I'm releasing this week, I'm going to aim to get out the collapse of Blizzard video probably by the end of the week. And once the stream's over right now, I'm probably going to go and work on either one of those two videos I mentioned at the start. One of those two short 10-minute takes. The titty or a lack of nuts. Those two, they're pretty much fully formed videos. I just need to record them and edit them and put them out. So that's what's coming. That's what's coming up. And then Collapse of Blizzard will be a bigger video later in the week. As far as I know, Vampire's still on Wednesday. Should be good. So I think it is time to get out of here. I'm gonna go have breakfast. It's nearly 1 p.m. I haven't even eaten yet. So I'm probably gonna go have some bacon and eggs and whatever. So yeah. Oh, numbered $10, 10 New Zealand bucks. I messaged you on Discord regarding corruption culture for your potential. Also not part of the $5 club. You're not a part of the $5 club? Well, did you give like $5 on Subscribestar or something, and the bot's not working? Okay, I'll get to the DMs probably tonight or tomorrow, frankly, because I want to get these videos made first. Yes, streaming tonight on Game Boomers. Wait. Oh no. Okay. Yep. I'll just put the link in one more time. I'm a boomer, so I'm typing it out every time. Streaming tonight at that link is going to be in about 6 hours from now. I'm going to be playing Luigi's Mansion 3. So anyway, I'm gonna go have some breakfast, and then this afternoon I'll work on videos, and hopefully you'll see either the titty or a lack of nuts tomorrow. One of those two. Let's get out of here. Thanks so much for all your support. Thanks so much for any donations, for viewing. Don't feel obligated to donate. I'm just happy that you guys are here and hanging out with me. It's a fun. I like doing this every week. It's a fun time. I get to chat about whatever. So, hold on a minute. Okay, yeah, I gotta go. Sorry, something IRL just popped up in the old message feed. I'm gonna get out of here. I love you guys. Goodbye.